So translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Vyasadeva said, what did you, Narad, do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in the scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth? So here Vyasadeva is talking about who are the great sages? The Bhakti Vedantas. So here Vyasadeva is asking, Sri Vyasadeva said, what did you do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in scientific transcendental knowledge? Vijnana, from here. So this knowledge is Vijnana. This word is specifically used. Vijnana Adesh Tribhi Tava. Vijnana, okay. So this is not something sentimentalism that we are following. As per Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasa Uvacha, Vyasa said, Bhikshubhi Vipravasite. So when these Bhikshubhi, these sages, the Bhakti Vedantas, Vipravasite means when they departed, when they left your place. Vijnana Adesh Tribhi Tava, who gave you the transcendental scientific knowledge. Bhikshubhir Vipravasite, when they departed. Bhikshubhir means the sages, the mendicants. Vipravashite, when they departed. So when the mendicants departed, Vijnana Adesh Tribhistava, they gave you Vijnana. The word Vartamano Vayasi Adye. Vartamano means current, present, Vayasi, duration of life, and Adye means before the beginning of. So before Vartamano Vayasi Adye, that before this life, Tatha Kim Akarod Bhavan. Tatha Kim, after that, what did you, your good self did? So, what did you, Narad, do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in the scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth, purport? Vyasadeva himself was disciple of Naradji, and therefore it was natural to be anxious to hear what Narad did after initiation from the spiritual masters. He wanted to follow in the Narad's footsteps in order to attain to the same perfect stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to progressive path. This process is technically known as Sadharma Pricha. So this is connected to this line, this desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to progressive path. This line is connected to one of the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita also. Which shloka? Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya ubdekshayanti te jnanam jnanina. This fourth chapter, I think, 4.34. Fourth chapter, 34th verse. So, the shloka, this purport is coming from there also. Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya. That go to the spiritual master and inquire from him. Tadvidhi, serve him. Paripatena, first serve him. Pariprashnena, then ask questions. Tadvidhi paripatena, offer your obeisances to him. Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya. Okay. Paripatena means offering the obeisances. Paripatena, pariprashnena, asking the questions, and sevaya, offering services. Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya ubdekshayanti te jnanam. Then he will give you tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena, ask questions. Ask questions. No. Tadvidhi paripatena, offer obeisances. Pariprashnena, ask questions. Sevaya, serve him. Three things. Offer obeisances, ask questions, and serve him. These are the three things. Tadvidhi paripatena pariprashnena sevaya ubdekshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Then he will give you updesh. He will show you the truth. Why he can only show you the truth? The bona fide spiritual master. Because he has seen the truth. Ubdekshayanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. He is tattvadarshi bhi. He has seen the tattva. So, someone who has not seen the Tattva, he will not be able to tell you what is Tattva, what is the real thing and what is bogus thing. Someone who has seen will be able to tell. Right. If you see, again, if you see whatever sages you see, how to know that who is authentic? Whatever sages you see, if they are following 17 Puranas, then definitely they cannot take you out from the repeated cycle of birth and death. But the sages who are following which Puran? 18th, Srimad Bhagavatam, they have the capability to take you out from the repeated cycle of birth and death. But at the same time, even Bhagavad Kathakar are many, following, not exactly following the 18th Puran. They speak about mixed philosophies. They can speak anything they want to. So hearing from them also will not make sense. Only in the lineage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the other three sampradayas. All the four sampradayas are authentic. Their commentaries are authentic. And they don't talk about sense gratification, these four sampradayas. Why these four sampradayas are considered authorities of liberation, authorities of getting away from the cycle of birth and death? Because all the four sampradayas, what are the four sampradayas? You know? Shri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya, and Kumbhar Sampradaya. These four. We are in Brahma Sampradaya. All the four sampradayas give the knowledge of getting away from the repeated cycle of birth and death. None of the sampradayas are concentrating on 17 Puranas. They are concentrating only on 18th Purana, and they are concentrating on the commentary on Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana mainly. All the four. Okay, the ways may be different, but all are authentic. So, the bona fide spiritual master is one who is concentrating on the 18th Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam. So you have to approach such a spiritual master. You have to serve him. You have to offer obeisances to him. And you have to ask questions. Then he will show you the truth. So this was about this text 2. Then comes text 3. I am directly going to translation of text 3. O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation? And how did you attain this body, having quit your old one in the due course? Text 3 translation. How did you pass your life after initiation? How did you attain this body, having quit your old one in the due course? Purport. Sri Narad Muni in his previous life was just an ordinary maidservant son. So how he became a perfectly transformed into the spiritual body of the eternal life, bliss and knowledge is certainly important. Sri Vyasadeva desired him to disclose the facts for everyone's satisfaction. Text 4. O great sage, time annihilates everything in the due course. So how is it that this subject matter, which happened prior to this day of Brahma, is still fresh in your memory, undisturbed by time? So here it is clarified that this Leela that he met Bhakti Vedanta, and this happened when? In the previous day of Brahma. But still Narad Muni remembers it. So Vyasadeva is asking, how is it that you are still remembering it? Purport. As the spirit is not annihilated even after annihilation of material body, so also the spiritual consciousness is not annihilated. So Sri Narad developed this spiritual consciousness even when he had this material body in this previous kalpa. In the previous kalpa. Kalpa means the day of Brahma. Consciousness of the material body remains consciousness of the material body means spiritual consciousness expressed through medium of material body. This consciousness is inferior, indestructible and perverted. But super consciousness of supra mind in the spiritual plane is as good as the spirit soul and is never annihilated. So someone may ask that why is it that it is said that once you go back to the spiritual world, we go back to Krishna, you need not come back. Why? Already we have come from there. We were there. That is what is explained. So why did we come? And if we have come once, all right, we have come now. We have come from, we were happy there in the spiritual world. Still we have come. So how is it possible that now if we go, we will not come back from the spiritual world? Can anyone answer? Who all can answer? Why we will not come? So Krishna gives smaran and vismaran. So when you are in this material body, when you are living this life, you leave this body, you enter the next body, Krishna gives vismaran. You are unable to remember your previous life. And it is mercy of Krishna. Because if you recall your previous life, you will get depressed. You will not be able to live. You will always, if you get to know about all your previous lives, you will fall into depression. Right? Anyone who gets to know, मेरे साथ ये हुआ था, वो pain ही नहीं सहन होएगा, सोच के भी pain नहीं. So when you are in this material world, Krishna gives you vismaran from one body to another. What to talk about from one body to another? Gives you vismaran in 10 days. That is Maya's Shakti. Vismaran. You forget everything. Maya has two Shaktis. What are the two Shaktis of Maya? Avarnatmika Shakti and Prakshapatmika Shakti. Avarnatmika Shakti is like what? Avarnatmika Shakti is like when you enter a theater and lights are turned off. Alright. So similarly, Avarnatmika Shakti of Maya makes you forget everything. She puts you into, she creates a forgetfulness in your mind. Alright. Forgetfulness about your real identity. Like you enter a theater, when you go to see a movie and you enter a theater, what is the first thing they do? They turn off the lights. That signifies that you will forget your real identity first. Then Prakshapatmika Shakti. What will she do? Prakshapatmika Shakti will drag you, pull you. Now you have forgotten your real identity. Now she will drag you to the illusion. It is like turning on the movie. So turning off the lights, with that you forget your identity. That's what happens in theater. And turning off the lights, right, is Avarnatmika Shakti, turning off the lights. And turning on the movie is Prakshapatmika Shakti. Where in Prakshapatmika Shakti, you are dragged into something that is not real. That is something that is temporary. It's not that it is unreal. It's that it's temporary. It's temporary. For some time it is there. So that's what happened in theater. And when you come out of theater, for some time you don't leave your impressions. You understand? So whatever movie you have seen, I have seen movies in my childhood. So it used to influence me so much that for 2-3 days I used to keep on thinking about that movie only. That okay, this is what was happened in this movie. This was what has happened. All right. So whatever in material world you will see, that will create impressions in your mind, and these impressions will carry on for a long time. And from these impressions, you will lead your further life. That's what happens. That's why we avoid them. We should see the reality. We should have impressions of Srimad Bhagavatam. We should have impressions of Bhagavad Gita. How many have experienced this? That you saw a movie and its impression was there for its effect was there for 3, 4, 5 days continuously. You kept on thinking about the film star. You kept on thinking about everything nonsense. This is what happens. So that is Prakshapatmika Shakti of Maya. So, but why is it that when you leave this material world, when will you leave this material world? You will leave this material world when these impressions are over. So already a lot of impressions are there. Now if you create new ones, you will have more impressions. Now to clear out those impressions, more time will be required. Already so much of time is required to clear the old impressions. right? So why to create more impressions? At least stop creating more and start erasing the previous ones by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So what happens when these impressions are over? You go back to the spiritual world, and there Krishna gives you smarana. In this material body, Krishna gave you vismarana. Krishna gave you vismarana. But in the next, when you move to spiritual world, Krishna gives you smaran, that what all you have suffered within this material world, and you will get the smaran of all your lives. So when you get that smaran, would you like to come back? No, you will not like to come back. So that is why it is said that when we go back, we need not come back to this material world. No one will want to. किसी ने देखा हो कि इतना कूड़ा इतने गंद में हम रह कर अभी आपको पाकिस्तान भेज दें, वहाँ जाकर रह लें आप कुछ समय, ठीक है, अब वापस आके यहाँ स्मरण तो रहेगा ना पाकिस्तान में क्या क्या हुआ आपके साथ, तो दोबारा जाना चाहेंगे? नहीं जाना चाहेंगे. So Krishna gives you smaran. Alright, that is what is written as it. Super consciousness of the supra mind in the spiritual plane is as good as spirit and is never annihilated. So swalpam asya api dharmas. You create little impressions of spirituality, you will never lose them. Forever, it will continue forever. Whatever you are doing right now, your chanting, today's chanting will continue forever in your impressions. Is it all right? Text number 5. खत्म हो जाना, destruction. Text 5, translation. Sri Narad said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places, and I had to pass my life in this way. In the previous life, when the Naradji was impregnated with the spiritual knowledge, by the grace of great sages, there was tangible change in his life. What word Prabhupada is using? Impregnated. In his previous life, Bhakti Lata Beej. This beej of Bhakti Lata was given. You know what is Bhakti? Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. So when you get Diksha, when you get initiated, then you get impregnated. Impregnated with what? Impregnated with the seed of Bhakti. That seed of Bhakti Krishna Guru places in your heart at the time of Diksha. And with the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and following the regulative principles, by serving the devotees, you water that seed. And that seed starts growing into a plant in your heart, that invisible plant. And that plant grows, and it moves above your body. It goes to it will cross all the lokas above, Bhur Lok, Bhuvar Lok, whatever, Swarg Lok. Topmost is Satya Lok, where Brahma is there, and Brahma Lok se bhi upar, then it will cut वो फाड़ेगा किसको? Material sky को फाड़ के वो plant कौन सी sky में जाएगा? Spiritual sky. और spiritual sky में जाके भगवान के चरणों के पास जाएगा, और भगवान उसी से आपको पकड़ के खींच लेंगे ऊपर. So when you get Diksha, अभी तो बीज ही नहीं है. कितना डेंजरस है. अभी तो दीक्षा नहीं हुआ ना किसी, तो बीज ही नहीं है अभी तो बीज आएगा, फिर उसको वाटर करोगे, फिर वो ग्रो करेगा. जैसे कोई बच्चा होने वाला होता है तो आप क्या करते हैं? जैसे अभी पुरुषोत्तम हुआ तो हम पहले से तैयारी शुरू करते हैं. क्या शुरू करते हैं तैयारी? कपड़े अरेंज करते हैं. बच्चे के निकलेगा तो बच्चा तो नंगा ही निकलेगा, तो कपड़े अरेंज करते हैं, उसके लिए क्रैडल वगैरह अरेंज पहले से करते हैं. बच्चा होने से पहले ऐसे करते हैं ना, सब कुछ बहुत सारी अरेंजमेंट्स करनी होती है पहले से. तो अभी आप जो चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं, आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं कि जब मेरे को वो बीज मिलेगा तो मैं उसको वाटर कैसे करूँगा. इसीलिए ISKCON में रूल है कि पहले वाटर करना तो सीख लो, तभी आपको बीज देंगे. अगर बिना वाटर करे सीखा नहीं वाटर करना और आपको बीज दे दिया तो फिर क्या होगा? वो बीज को आप मार डालोगे, है कि नहीं, ख़त्म कर दोगे उस बीज को। तो इसीलिए बीज देने से पहले उसको वाटर करना सीखना होता है, ताकि उस बीज को आप सही तरह से नर्चर करके ग्रो कर पाओ। सो दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन केम फ्रॉम दिस वर्ड व्हाट, impregnated. तो पढ़ना, in the previous life when Narad ji was impregnated with the spiritual knowledge by the grace of the great sages, there was tangible change in his life, although he was only a 5 years boy. Who has said that you should start bhakti from the age of 5 years? Prahlad Maharaj. All right. That is important symptom visible after initiation by the bona fide spiritual master. Actual association of devotees bring a quick change in life for spiritual realization. How it is so acted upon the previous life of Sri Narad Muni is described by and by in this chapter. बार बार इसी बात को अच्छे से describe किया. What is exact time?
7:03.
Okay, so we'll close here in text number 5. Text 5 आप लोग कल दोबारा कर सकते हैं. Text 4 तक मैंने कवर कर दिया. Any questions?
जैसे यादव अपने स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर की लाइफ को बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्विजिटिव है जानने के लिए, जैसे उनसे क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं उनकी लाइफ के बारे में, और मतलब हमको भी ऐसे अपनी स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर की लाइफ को ऑब्जर्व करना चाहिए.
Obviously, whenever you are not only spiritual master, whenever you are with the senior devotees also, like Rukmini Krishna Prabhu, you should observe all the activities. You will find a lot. You will find a lot to learn from it. I will tell you, if you everywhere I saw Prabhuji so conscious. I was observing constantly. It's generally my habit that whenever I am with senior devotees, I keep on observing that what acts they are doing for pleasure of Krishna. Like I observed many things, like I related to Prasad. I observed that we went to auntie's place, in base auntie's place. So auntie offered some fruits to Prabhuji. So first question was, is it offered? And first question was this, is it offered? And I did not check it is offered or not. I just served. So then I asked auntie, it is offered? She said no. Then जाओ तुलसी पत्ता लेकर आओ जल्दी से. लेकर आया, मोबाइल में गौर निताई का एक फ़ोटो खोलो, वो खोल के सामने लगाया, वो तुलसी पत्ता रखा, प्रभु जी माता जी से वहीं बात करते रहे. पहले मैंने उस पर मंत्रास बोल के ऑफ़र किया. फिर अब वो आंटी से बात करते करते ही प्रभु जी ने, अब क्या होगा, भोग लग गया, अब हमारे जैसा तो होगा, चलो बात चल रहा, खा लो, है ना. हम तो इतना माइन्यूटली चीज़ों को देखते नहीं है. बट अगेन खाना तो उनको क्या था, 2 अंगूर खाने थे, 2 पीस केले के छोटे छोटे खाने थे, उनको जस्ट ऑनर करने के लिए, माता जी को ऑनर करने के लिए. बट उन्होंने पूरा अपना, पहले माता जी से बात करते करते रुके, महाप्रसादे गोविंदे पूरा बोला. फिर वी शुड बी लाइक दैट. वी शुड ऑब्जर्व आवर सीनियर्स लाइक दैट.